Whoa! What is going on, guys? So it's Tuesday. Yeah, that sounds right. Feeling good, feeling strong. And we're heading in for a big boy peck popping. You can even see it pop through this big hoodie. Freaking chest day, baby. It's exciting right now. My boy's in from Mexico, so it's good to see him right now. Ironically, he's another John too, so it's good to see the fellow Johns commencing and whatnot. I've been doing a lot of research on stomach expansion, and I don't mean like bubble gut. I mean the actual organ itself, my stomach, trying to expand it more and more. Now keep in mind, when it's empty or when it's, not overfilled, it's not going to expand out. But for those of you that don't know, I suffer from relatively chronic nausea, where sometimes after I eat a lot of food, not even a lot of food sometimes, just a little bit too much, but it's not a crazy amount. It's a lot for a regular person, but not for me. I'll get extremely nauseous for a while. And I've been trying to pinpoint it down for a long time. It comes and goes sometimes. If I'm on some stuff that's a little more toxic in my body, it's much worse. To where I can only use it for like a week, to where I don't even use that stuff anymore. It's not worth it. But even though I'm not on any of it, it's a lot worse in the mornings. And your stomach is always the smallest in the mornings because you've been fasted all night. Now, one thing I noticed, kind of looking back a little bit, is I used to, my meals have been a little bit bigger throughout the days now, but I used to wake up in the middle of the night and have a meal. Pretty religiously. 400 calories, 500 calories, nothing, wild. But I used to get up in the middle of the night and have a meal. So my stomach wasn't fasted and empty all night. Now, for a couple years there, I was in a really bad financial situation, but I was still a bodybuilder. So I had to get all my protein in, no matter what. So I was pretty much living on liquid egg whites for 5 years straight, just drinking liquid egg whites, because I knew I would lose protein in cooking chicken, something like that. And I knew the egg was one of the best protein sources I could have instead of bad quality chicken in the States, So I was forced to live on basically, 100 and change liquid egg whites a day. Wasn't fun, but I did what I had to do, Now, looking back, and me trying to diagnose what's going on now, my stomach, and I don't mean like down here, I mean like the organ itself, has had it so easy for basically half a decade, that now that I've introduced a lot more food over these past, couple months, a year, give or take, I think it shrank a lot. That's kind of what my self-diagnosis is right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a lot of research on competitive eaters. And if you know of one who I can get in touch with, let me know. Send me a DM, leave a comment, do whatever. But I need to talk to a couple competitive eaters and see how they go about expanding their stomach capacity. Right? It's a funny thing, and I know you can do it, but I think I need to re-expand my stomach lining. For those of you that don't know, the stomach itself, it can expand and contract like no tomorrow. There's a reason why these people on like my 600-pound life can eat tens of thousands of calories a day without running out of room. It's because their stomach has been so expanded over the course of their lifetime that they'll eat and not even be full. And man, that's a dream. That's a dream, baby. So the short of the long research I was doing is, granted, I know I don't drink enough water as a bodybuilder. I should be getting in 1.5 gallons a day, Some days I just touch a gallon. And I mean like just barely touch a gallon. Not for not being thirsty or anything like that. I'm running around busy and I just kind of forget about it, you know? We all have our flaws, and for me, it's absolutely my water intake. Absolutely. You know, I'm plenty hydrated. I drink electrolytes and stuff, so that's not really a big deal. I go to the bathroom. It's not, you know, the color of a school bus or anything like that. It's fine. But as an athlete, I know I need more, and I know I should be drinking more. So a couple of the forums and stuff I was looking at was saying you just need to drink a lot of water in a very short period of time, which, duh, I get. That makes sense. But I need to know what a lot of water is, right? You tell me a lot of water, I think, cool, let's smash a half gallon. And that might be the answer. I don't know. But the fine line I have to play with it is I need to make sure I do that intense water chugging, if you will, after my meals. Because if I fill my stomach, aggressively fill my stomach with water, let's say an hour, or maybe even 2 hours, or an hour and a half rather, because I usually eat every 2 hours or so. That's going to make it really difficult to get more food in. See what I'm saying? So I need to be able to improve its capacity. I wish I could just buy a new one. That'd be great. But improve its capacity while simultaneously making sure that I don't skip a beat when it comes to my actual calories and how much I'm eating. Now, oh, beautiful. I got a nice parking spot too. Unless this guy in front of me parks like a dickhead, but I think it'll be all right. Even if he parks like a dickhead, I think there'll be enough room. So, one second, because there is somebody else that I think wanted to steal the spot. He was driving like a bit of a jerk off, but this guy left me plenty of room. I'm going to hop in here. Oh, and we are golden, baby. So that's the plan right now, is how can I improve my stomach capacity without hindering my ability to eat all my meals? Because once that curve is over and I cross that barrier, right? If I'm slamming, let's say, half a gallon of water twice a day on top of my regular water intake for stomach expansion reasons, my stomach should be bigger to where I can eat my meals and slam a half a gallon of water to continue keeping it that large and continue to allow it to expand, I guess. Now, for those of you that know, I have a pretty kind of a liquid diet, if you will, with my protein. Not so much, but, you know, I blend my beef before bed. The chicken teenies, I blend the chicken. I drink some egg whites. You know, a lot of the protein I get throughout the day is liquid because it was always easier for me because I've had, like, eating problems. Not even the stomach capacity wise, just when I had my nose being so bad when I was growing up and before I got my surgery, it forced me to be an incredibly slow eater. Now, I'm also wondering if I increase this capacity up, will I become a faster eater because I will be more hungry for my meals? And I know I'll be more hungry because there'll be more room to fill. This is a cool discovery, if you will, right? Because I've tried taking every digestive pill in the world, and, you know, digestion was never really the problem. I've tried doing a million other things, just trying to figure it out, but this is a new angle, if you will. And I never had digestive problems, yet I said, let me try these digestive pills to see if it helped. But meanwhile, that might not have never been the problem to begin with. You always see your boys. You always see your boys at the gym, right? So, I'm thinking, and this is me just shooting the shit with you, trying to figure it out. if there's actually nothing wrong with my digestion whatsoever, and my stomach is healthy, if you will, right? It makes sense that the only thing causing this is because it shrank over years of really atrophy from not being needed. You know, when you look at, and I use the 600-pound life people for example, because my God, I wish I could eat like that as a bulk. I'd be enormous, right? But a lot of people that get the gastric sleeve surgery, for instance, right? The sleeve and the stapling and so on and so forth. A lot of times they continue to overeat after the surgery. Their stomach gets bigger. They can't control themselves again, right? So what happens? They get fat again. The stomach is an extremely elastic organ. As you know, you eat too much, it expands. You're like, oh my God. But I need to do that on a frequent daily basis to force it to overextend and really hypertrophy. Now, it's not going to affect my build, how I look. Not at all. Maybe as soon as I slam some water, it'll be a little expanded for 5-10 minutes or so, but that's it. Not what you guys are going to see. Not what a stage would see, not what anybody else would see. I would feel it. But when you look at bodybuilders that have like a bit of a gut, right? That's not actually their stomach, that's their intestines. So when you're abusing insulin as a bodybuilder, right? Which ironically is the most legal and the most dangerous of any of the anabolic things people take. What happens is they're eating so much food that it's difficult to break down. Therefore, more blood is necessary to go into the intestines to break all that down. But when you hypertrophy something, when your intestines quite literally get a pump over and over and over and over again, what happens? They expand. And that's a lot of expansion that causes everything to slowly move out, right? Because we're not fat at all on stage, not in the slightest bit. But the organ itself is enormous. But we're not talking my intestines. We're talking about the stomach itself. And it doesn't need to get that much bigger. Not much. Maybe, I don't know how big it is right now, but maybe, God, I would love bigger than average. I guess you could, well, I'm sure it's already bigger than average, but I eat far more than an average person. Let's say double the size. Maybe a smidge less. I don't know. But this is something I'm looking forward to trying, looking forward to figuring out. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated with the journey, but that's the coup de grace right now, my friends. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm planning. And that's what I'm going to start executing today. But we're not going to slam a half a gallon of water before I walk into the gym because I will throw up everywhere. So instead, we're going to slam some pre-workout. What we have here, that almost popped open everywhere. What we have here before I make a mess of my car. Applied Nutrition. They're my people. We have 1 scoop Cherry Cola Stim, 2 scoops Tiger's Blood Pump, and a scoop of the creatine plus the peptide blend in there with, I don't know, 6 ounces of water, something like that. Is it the recommended amount of water for these products? No. Am I supposed to mix Cherry Cola with Tiger's Blood? No. Does it taste as good as it could because I'm messing up flavors? No. Did you ever mix, I don't know, Coca-Cola and chocolate milk? I haven't, but I can guarantee you it won't taste like chocolate milk or Coca-Cola. It's going to be funny. When I mix these two flavors, it's really not bad. But I've always been one to mix a stim, mix a pump. I don't care about the flavor. Like I said, I drink my beef. I couldn't care less. I just wanted to get in me as fast as possible, get these two things in me. Normally when you make a pre-workout, it says like 8 ounces of water to 1 scoop of stim or whatever it is, right? And that's really for the optimal flavor. Now, for me, I just want the product in my body. I just want it to go down. So I kind of just, that's why you see I drink it so fast. I just take it like a shot. Now, what I will say, for you dry scoopers out there, right? I know it's cool. I know you think you're fun, right? But something that you guys may not know is when you dry scoop the products, when you dry, not just Applied Nutrition, but any pre-workouts, anything in general, it's not going to work as well because water, H2O, is the catalyst molecule for a lot of the powders and a lot of the chemicals that are in these powders. A lot of the vitamins, the minerals, and everything. So if you're not getting the water in it to make that chemical reaction happen, you're just drinking powders that your stomach acid is eating up, right? But if you let it activate in the water, you're good to go. If you just take an Alka-Seltzer shot, right? Not a shot, but like the pills. Not the pills, I'm sorry, like the tablets. You know what I mean? You drop it in the water and it sizzles all over the place. If you just take one of those like a pill, it doesn't work because the stomach acid just rips through it. But when you allow it to work and, I don't want to say metabolize because that's not the right word, but when you allow that chemical reaction to occur, when it comes in response with H2O, that makes it all work significantly better. And it makes it work like it's supposed to work. It's the same thing they say whenever you take antibiotics, eat with your antibiotics because your stomach needs some type of food in there to allow it to do its job properly. So on that note, we're going to listen for the pop. I missed it. Ooh, baby. And cheers, my friends. Stim, pump, creatine, and nicotine, baby. Let's fucking get it.